Okay. Ah! I forgot about this. Why do I always do this with my head? You have to eat right now. You may continue. Hi. Well, hi. Hi. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Recreating Recipes from Culinary School. It is our second episode, and today I will be making Strassburger cookies. The Strassburger cookie is a Danish butter cookie. Totally pretending that I remember that this is a Danish cookie. I literally looked this up 3 minutes before I started filming this. Shh, don't tell anyone. I think it's one of those kind of like tea time little treats you have. So I'm gonna go ahead and do our mise en place. I don't know if I like this transition thing, but I think it's fun. I don't know. Okay, here we go. The ingredients for this recipe is quite simple. This recipe also uses the creaming method. However, for this recipe, instead of granulated sugar, we're using powdered sugar. The recipe also called for cake flour, which cake flour is a lot softer than all-purpose flour because this cookie is meant to be really buttery, really soft, kind of melt in your mouth kind of feel. The recipe calls for cardamom, and I actually don't have any. I was thinking about using cinnamon, but I actually checked. I have masala chai, which has cardamom in it. We have vanilla extract, but I actually added a little bit of vanilla bean paste to it, just a touch. Just because I think when you make cookies like this and you see those you see those vanilla bean seeds in it, I think it adds a really nice touch. These are a piped cookie, so I have 2 different piping tips here. I'm not, to be quite honest, I don't remember which ones we use, and these are the ones I have from culinary school. But the number that's on the recipe, and I don't have my original notes, but the number that's on the recipe doesn't match the numbers of the piping tips that I have. So I kind of had to guess. Hopefully I guessed correctly, but we will see. Also, we'll be adding some jam. I have some raspberry jam that it's technically raspberry compote that I had made. I'm going to add that in before we bake, and then we will also be melting and dipping some of these cookies in chocolate as well. So let's get started. So the last time my angles weren't that great, I'm going to be very mindful, very demure. I'm going to be very mindful about the angles, so hopefully you don't have my eyes cut off. But I don't know, maybe some of you don't care, who knows. Sifter is probably not necessary, but it is a habit that I have, and powdered sugar always clumps a lot more, so I don't know. To me, it makes sense too. Oh, another thing that I forgot, this cookie does not have a leavening agent, so that's why butter cookies like this tend to be dense, but because of that, that's why you also get that kind of melt in your mouth feel. To be honest, I haven't used no, I'm a liar. Nope. Am I a liar? Does my shortbread recipe do this? I haven't made a recipe like this with creaming powdered sugar and butter. I do make a shortbread. I have a shortbread cookie recipe, and that one also is kind of similar to this, but it has cornstarch in it. But it also calls for powdered sugar, but I think for that one, it's everything all at once. But this one's the creaming method, so we're gonna go ahead and cream this first. If I'm being completely honest, I'm not sure how long I'm supposed to cream this for. It has a cream cheese consistency. Okay, let's mix one more time just for good measure. So a lot whiter in color, and I just realized this is the same thing as making American buttercream. Don't make American buttercream, it's disgusting. It's not good, don't do it. Next, we are going to add in our eggs. I'll add one yolk in at a time. Ooh. And we'll scrape the sides. I could have added all the egg in at once, but sometimes when you make a smaller quantity, it doesn't mix in as well, and I wanted the egg yolk to mix in a little bit more with the butter before I added the second one in, just so I can make sure that it incorporates really well and instead of just separating. Okay, adding the vanilla extract and vanilla bean paste, which it's really not a lot, but woo. Scrape the sides, mix. Okay, so now the cream looks, you know what? It kind of looks like pastry cream, a little bit, color-wise. So we are going to add our flour in. I am just gonna mix the spices in. I am gonna sift this again because it is supposed to be a delicate cookie. I really didn't want to take the paddle attachment off. Does that make me lazy? Who knows? Okay. And sift. I actually think sifting is a lot of fun. Okay. I think we're good. I'm just gonna mix it one more time just because I have some butter on the paddle attachment that didn't get mixed in as well. That's why you always want to scrape. You always want to make sure to scrape because otherwise, let's say we left that butter in there, then there would be a pocket of butter and then one of the cookies might not turn out right. Well, probably wouldn't turn out right. Okay. I know I said this in the last one, but dough is just so pretty. I got a whiff of sugar and it reminded me of fondant. Okay, so this is our dough. Isn't she pretty? I grabbed the raspberry compote that I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna put down some parchment. Instead of spraying down your pan, it's better to use a little bit of the batter and then just place it on the corners of your sheet pan. It'll keep the parchment paper down. If I had a still oven, I probably wouldn't do this, but because oven that I have is technically an air fryer, I just don't want the parchment to end up accidentally covering the cookie. This is definitely a recipe that I have not touched since culinary school. This recipe was when I first went into culinary school. Yeah, so I'm literally making this recipe I'm making this recipe 15 years later. I did do a half recipe, which I don't think I had mentioned that, but I did do a half recipe, and the full recipe says it's supposed to make 2.5 to 3 dozen. So my guess is I'm gonna get 1.5 dozen cookies. The dough is quite thick. The recipe said that the piping tip depends on the consistency of the batter, which my guess is it depends on how soft your butter is. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do half of these. Did I already say this? Just in case I didn't. I'm gonna do half of these with, no, I think I did. I remember that we did, I think the typical Strassburger cookie is the rosette with jam inside of it, and also that S shape. But also, the recipe says to pipe them in shells, but I don't remember piping them in shells. Maybe we did. No, maybe we did. It's been so long. Maybe for the shells and some of the rosettes, I'll do the bigger tip, and then for the S, I'll do the smaller tip. Why am I nervous? I haven't done this in so long. These won't spread very much, so I can pipe them quite close. It's just like that. Is it the other way? I guess it would be the other way because it's supposed to look like an S. That's cute. I don't know if it's right. I think it's right. But maybe this piping tip is too big. Okay, so after piping them, I did get, how many did I get? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. I got 18. Oh, that was exactly a dozen and a half. That's so funny. So I remember, did we do 2? But I don't think it'll sit well in here. So maybe I'll just do it here. Let's do it for 3 of them, because I remember them tasting better. Is that too much? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do. Oh, maybe I will just do it on this sheet, all of them. These are so cute. I remember thinking that these were so cute. I don't know how this one is gonna work. Maybe I'll just do it here, like a little gem. I did 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 7, 11, 9, 9. So 2 more. Put it on these 2. This one and this one. I know I say that all the time, but they really are so cute. Look at them. I don't know if I'm meant to throw these in the fridge before baking. We do have to bake these at a higher temperature. The recipe says 375 Fahrenheit. However, when you use a convection oven, an oven with a fan inside of it, you do need to go 25 degrees lower than what the recipe calls for. So I will be baking it at 350 instead of 375. But my oven is in Celsius, so I do need to convert that. I do need to preheat the oven, so I'm actually gonna throw these in the fridge just in case, because it won't hurt. And in the meantime, as always, time for dishes. Let's go ahead and put the first sheet. I think these are, yeah, I think these are cooled down enough. In the meantime, I do need to melt down some chocolate, although I don't have a microwave anymore, which microwave is actually the best way to melt chocolate down. When you in culinary school, we learned how to temper chocolate through a bain-marie, which is a water bath. As I've gone out of culinary school, using the microwave is actually a lot better because you don't have the risk of the chocolate accidentally seizing if the water goes inside. I'm gonna have to get creative. I think I'm gonna put the chocolate in a closed container and then put it in the water bath. I haven't done this before, but I think it'll be okay. It'll be okay. It's fine. It'll be okay. So I think one of the really great things that I learned from culinary school is time management. And it's really a skill that has benefited me a lot. When you are a pastry chef or just in the culinary world in general, you can't not be good at time management because really time is of the essence and time is so valuable, which I think it's just a really important skill to have in general. So yeah, just having a culinary school appreciation moment. They seem to be okay so far. So they are spreading quite a bit. Maybe I just piped them too big or they weren't in the fridge long enough. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the second batch ends up turning out. Butter is at a boil. I'm gonna throw that in there and I'm gonna keep checking on it and then kind of swishing it around so it doesn't yeah. See, it's already melting. Chocolate has melted a good bit, but I did turn the heat off just because I didn't want to burn the chocolate accidentally. So I'm just gonna let it sit in there for about 5 minutes and then I'm gonna pull it out. If my memory serves me correctly, the Strassburger cookies are only meant to be in the oven just baked. They aren't supposed to be very brown in color, so I actually think that they're done. Yeah, so my guess about the over creaming is because there's been some cracking. It's held its shape decently well, but because of this cracking here, it's making me think that I might have over creamed the butter at the beginning. Grabbing the second sheet, and these were in slightly longer than the other one, so let's see how these turn out. So I'm really happy that these guys stayed. It kind of looks like a little shell with pearl, or a gem I should say. Does look like the second batch of cookies is baking exactly the same. Maybe this is exactly what the cookies look like and I just don't remember. They look pretty much the same. I mean, maybe they're holding their shape slightly better. I think this part is the least fun part about baking, is A, the baking part, and B, the cooling down part, because there's literally nothing I can do, so I have to wait. Can I help you? Are you hungry? Oh my goodness. Where are you going? Okay, so I took the second batch out, and yeah, I think it's basically the same. I got distracted by my cat, so they're a little more brown, but yeah, I definitely think it was the creaming part. I think I may have over creamed the butter. Okay, ready? Come here. Enjoy your food. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to drizzle chocolate on some of them, and then I'm gonna dip some of them in chocolate. This is coating chocolate. So coating chocolate is actually, I don't know if you can tell, in consistency it always ends up being thicker than just regular chocolate. I don't fully know what the difference is or what they add into coating chocolate, but you use coating chocolate when you want something to set quicker, whereas with regular chocolate, unless it's tempered, it usually doesn't set very well. So the cookies are decently cooled down now, so I am going to dip some of them, and I'm actually going to also drizzle some chocolate on some of them too. So I didn't melt that much chocolate, so I am tilting it so I can get a better dippage. I remember we dipped these diagonally, I believe. Cute! You always want to make sure you shake anything you dip chocolate in, just so it doesn't end up spreading out when it cools down, so that it's shaped really well against whatever it is you're dipping. I have this like desire to dip all of them, but I shouldn't. I could, but maybe whoever I give these to won't want chocolate, you know? I have to be mindful. Ooh, I like that one. Maybe I did these in culinary school too, like this. Oop, I don't know if you can see. Like this. I like that. You know, I was going to try to upload photos that I had from culinary school. I think they're in this hard drive that I have, but for some reason the hard drive is not reading on my computer. If I'm ever able to get the photos, I will upload them. You know, I will say something that I really didn't expect while I started this series is how much it's making me think about how far I've come, and just, I don't know, I'm just really appreciating doing these recipes and kind of remembering, reliving, maybe not reliving, reminiscing on where I started and where I am now. And yeah, it's just a really nice feeling. I feel good. So the chocolate is set. Usually I don't put anything that has chocolate into the fridge, just because it's usually a no-no, because the moisture in the fridge can mess with the chocolate. But I just threw those in there for about 5 minutes. If it was much cooler in the house, I wouldn't have thrown them in at all. I think the shells definitely are my favorite, even though I don't remember making them. Did not think that I would have so much fun with this series. I really truly had no idea that I would have this much fun. Taste test! I haven't had dinner yet, and it is dinner time, so I'm not gonna have too many, but I'm going to pick one. Let's do a small one. I'll do one with jam. This one. Cute! Honestly, they're kind of just okay. The raspberry does make it better. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Recreating Recipes from Culinary School. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Don't forget to like or comment and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!